and the rose back again. We have not posted for quite a while, and that's been on my mind. And I honestly don't know which this applies to. Probably all of it. I was trying to split myself in two and do videos for RV living, which I'm still doing. I'm still in the RV. And then I got this little ostomy thing. It's a health issue. And I thought, well, I'll do some videos on that. There was a lack of information, actually. And being an old teacher, retired teacher, I thought, an opportunity to teach. So you can search around for the ostomy stuff if you want to. Or if you're not into medical and gross, then leave it alone. It makes me laugh. There's a lot of jokes about it. Anyway, we're back, and we're talking about how we've been back, but we intend to come back full force a little more regularly, I hope, if my health holds out. So the big news is I finally got to see the surgeons. Wonderful people, really nice people. This time I talked to an actual woman who was a surgeon. Yay, women! And Dr. Young Fedok, what a lovely name. And she and I talked and decided that we're not going to go ahead and put me all back together again. I'm in two pieces. The colon is cut in two. That's how you get an ostomy. Mine broke. Who heaven knows why. There are lots of reasons how that can happen. Car accidents, disease, who knows. Anyway, mine broke. It was very painful, I guess you might imagine, kind of like appendicitis. So, maybe I ate too much good food. No. Anyway, we've decided we're not going to do it for at least 3 months. And the bad part is she wants me to exercise more, and I'm really resisting that. I don't know what's happened to me. I used to be a jogger and a runner and full-time, big-time yoga, but I've lost the edge. Well, long-term illness will do that to you, so I've got to get back into exercising. And I've made some calls about rehab and trying to talk to this up here about do it. And I'll get back into it. Also have to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. And I can do that too, because I enjoyed myself putting it on. I like to eat, and I like sweets. As I sit waiting for the next project today is to make a banana bread. Oh well, that's life. We'll see if I can do all that. But I'm still enjoying life and still having a good time, and wanted to talk to you about all of this. And I took my glasses off so you could see my eyes better. I had some requests. So I'm just going to check my notes and not forget anything that I wanted to talk to you about. Yes, the hernia with my ostomy came after surgery was done, and I was walking around with the plastic bag stuck to my belly. I developed a hernia as well, right in that same area, and apparently the small colon tries to escape. When there's a hole, it'll go. So that's what happened. I got the hernia, and that hole grew bigger, and I have to strengthen those stomach muscles to hold it all in. So I'm trying to do core stomach muscle exercises to get stronger, and the hole getting bigger means I need a bigger appliance to wear, so I called today to find out about getting some bigger stuff to wear. The hole was being irritated by the appliance, and we don't want that, so we'll just get one with a bigger access so that it won't be irritating my skin. And we're off from there. So I'm pretty healthy otherwise. I'm in pretty good shape. I saw my nephrologist to check on my kidneys. As you may know, I had a kidney transplant. It says right there. I had a transplant at the Mayo Clinic, and it's been doing great, and my kidney is great, no problems, and that's wonderful news. And I'm still grateful to the anonymous donor. And let's see, that is the news on the medical, I believe. Let me just check my notes. I don't want to forget anything. Oh yes, they wanted to repair this hernia in my belly with mesh, and there's been a lot in the news lately about the mesh, and maybe I just get some of your opinions, because I'm going to research it even more. It does sound ominous, and I'm just not quite sure. So we're looking at that, and I appreciate anybody's opinion on that subject, because It could be life or death, according to some people. Let me see. Yeah, the mesh was what I want to talk to you about. Oh yes, and I'm getting a belt to hold it up. I wear a belt now, but it's not big enough because I've grown and I'm getting a bigger belt, so that should help me manipulate more, and that's actually been keeping me down and one of my excuses for not posting videos regularly. But the belt's coming, and I'm coming, and the videos are coming, and won't just say yet when, but I think I can get them out at least once a week, don't you? Or maybe more. That was my original goal. And moving on to other things in life, it was the RVing. RV living. I'm still in the RV, and it was a wonderful thing to have when I came home from hospital, because there was very little to do, very little housework, and easy to get back and forth to the bathroom and make myself something to eat. Very little cleaning. And thank God for friends. I had friends and neighbors come by and help me out as well. But the RV living does kind of leave you being self-sufficient sometimes, which is good. It promotes good health, because being self-sufficient meant I got up and moved and didn't lay around in bed so much feeling sorry for myself because I had to get up and do it myself. I like that. I like that very much. And I've enjoyed all your comments, and I look forward to hearing more. So I want to talk to you today about water. It's one of my favorite subjects, and you'll find the links down below the video to my favorite subjects. I did not raise my children is another one, and I'm still working on that project. If you have read it, please let me know. I'd like to know your feedback on that as well. But water is a big subject, and a follow-up to that article that I wrote on water is I'm now drinking city water again. I had installed a filter on my special water tap in the kitchen where I get my drinking water, and it's now filtered as well under my kitchen sink by my own personal filter, as well as everything that the city and the park does to keep my water fresh and safe for drinking. So I'm glad to be doing that in a way. I've given up drinking natural spring water for a while, only because I felt that it's all been provided by whoever provides this world for us to live in, and I don't think the city water is going to make me sick. I've just seem to have changed my position, and I really don't even know why. It's just buying water in a bottle, plastic bottle, got to be a real turnoff. It was a lot of work, heavy carrying that I'm not supposed to do right now because of my belly, and expensive, $1 a gallon. I didn't feel like spending that money anymore, and I had 10 1-gallon jugs of water sitting along by my bed for a long time, and I thought, well, you know, maybe the plastic isn't good for the water either. They were in plastic jugs, and I left a plastic bottle of water in the car one time. It heated up in the weather and tasted like plastic. So I don't think we should be overlooking the dangers of that. I managed to give away my drinking water to somebody who was grateful to get it, because they're still drinking the bottled water from the ordinary spring. And I still do believe that spring water is much different than the water bottled in a factory. The factory water that you're buying, most of you people who don't read the labels don't realize that it's just the same as city water. It doesn't make any difference. All this water in plastic jug thing is a fad and a craze, and it was just originally a way to get your wallet opened up a little bit more. So do take a look at that and think about what you're doing, and that's a subject for another time. But thinking about what you're doing and the reality of the life we're in is kind of look towards dropping out of society and getting away from the rat race. I don't own a television. I don't watch. I have a radio, both here in my RV, in my motorhome, in my trailer, and in my car, but they don't get turned on. I don't listen. I don't watch. I don't want to know. I have my own opinions, and once in a while, if there's something important going on, someone will tell me, and I'll find out. And if I really do want to know something, like maybe the weather, is there a flood rushing towards us? up here in the mountains? And yeah, we do get floods here. I want to know. So I might, in the monsoon rain season, check the Weather Channel for flooding around our area. But in general, if there's a flood coming, somebody's knocked on my door to tell me, or called me on the phone. Yes, I'm still modern enough to have a phone. Don't have a cell phone. No, don't want one either. I'm spending my money on better things. What little money I have. And that leads me to another subject, which is the Patreon. Some artist friends of mine are recommending that we all apply on Patreon, which is a way for artists to continue creating their art and perhaps raising some funds to support themselves while they do the creating. And a lot of us YouTubers aren't making any money doing this. We hope we will someday, but maybe someday. So Patreon is something coming up on this channel that I will be promoting in a short while to help myself. I'm on a very low income. I come from Canada but live in the United States, so there's a lot of social programs there for people in my situation, but not if you're an immigrant. I'm an immigrant from Canada, and I have permission from the federal government of the United States to live here and work here, which is very nice, and maybe someday I'll become an American citizen. But in the meantime, I have to make my way. So water is the subject for today, both good and bad. That was the good stuff about drinking water. The bad stuff about water is that it gets in the RVs. It leaks everywhere. If you've got a pinprick in your rubber roof, your rubberized roof, and water's going to get in there. Or if the covers on the vents aren't holding 100%, which they won't if you're traveling, nothing will hold. It'll all let go. And it has to be tightened and recocked and whatever to keep it sealed. So if it rains before you get the sealings or the caulkings done, you know that water's inside. I just noticed the other day I have a bulge up near the roof, and I'm assuming that that was old rainwater that leaked in. I have since hired a guy and had it fixed, but it leaked in so bad I had water coming out my light fixture in the ceiling inside when it rained. Then there are other things like accidents with water. I don't carry drinking water, thank goodness, but those of you who do may find that there are problems in that area. I do have water hookup for black water and for gray water. Black water's the toilet, and gray water the sink and shower, bathtub. And those things can develop problems where they leak into your vehicle, into your home. I thought I had a leak under the kitchen floor, but it wasn't. And I'm sharing this because it was fascinating. We finally discovered that the structure of the floor was actually technically inadequate for living because the joists were too far apart and the floor started to sag. And it was the sagging that made me think there was a water leak. If your floor gets wet underneath the flooring and it sags, you think water, what's going to make it leak? I never dreamt that they would build with inadequate support, the joist support underneath the floor. So we fixed it with a beautiful aluminum sheet screwed down just over top of the kitchen flooring in the weak spot. And I love it. I have an aluminum floor in my kitchen. It looks very professional for a professional cook. So that was one solution that was made up on the fly. It wasn't on the fly. I spent months investigating what the problem was and then finding a solution. And the solution was almost God-sent. It was full of coincidences and miracles, and it happened very easily, which is how life should go if you're on the right track. If you're in tune with the vortex, as we say. If you are in tune with life in general and the big picture, things go the way they're supposed to go, and you don't have to struggle and strive against it. Okay, so let me just check my notes one more time here. Yeah, the water leaking in. That is a subject that leads towards what I was talking about with the freezer when I showed you the fridge. The freezer can leak if the drain for the defrost is plugged. And I live in a dusty, dry area in Arizona where it can plug just with dust. Or little animals will fill the hole up with their little goodies, and the freezer will back up with the discharge from the water running off the melting ice. So those things need to be looked at, checked. Open up the hatch doors on the outside and look in there for leaks of water and animal access, bringing their toys and presents for you. Yeah, the purchasing is, when you're looking at the new vehicle you've never seen before, the easiest thing to find if it's ever leaked is the ceiling. If there's any marks at all, or you press against the wall. Just give it a press like this, where the joist should be, or around about where they should be, around windows and doors, in the walls. Just press it slightly and it shouldn't give. It should be solid. If it's soft, it's probably leaked and the material under there has lost its strength. So that's often part of the buying process, looking for leaks. Also looking for rust. Any mention of rust. It might be leaking inside, but you can't see it, but the rust will work its way to the outside. That's for living in and for buying. You must check those things on a regular basis to keep your vehicle in good shape. Your recreational vehicle, your home, whatever you want to call it. I was talking to a guy the other day who had just got a van, and he was making a huge difference between his old recreational vehicle and his van living. And I said to him, well, what does RV, it was RV he kept saying, his old RV. I said, what was your RV? He said, what do you mean, what do you mean? I said, well, your van is an RV too. It's recreational vehicle is what it stands for. He'd been driving a motor home, a very large, lovely one. And he'd been calling it an RV so long he'd forgot what it meant. So he's back to his van, but calling it his RV again, which is kind of fun. So, and selling your vehicle, if you have people looking at it or professionals, you're selling it to a lot maybe, be honest with them and tell them where you've done the repairs so that they know if they find anything, they know what's done and what's not done. I keep all my real records and bills in a book. Everything I've done to my vehicle is in a book with the receipt and notes so that you will know. For instance, I accidentally burned up my microwave by cooking with nothing in it. Didn't know you could do that. I thought I had the timer on, but I had the cooker on. And I cooked it to death. So I bought a new microwave, and it was easy to install. It was just a few screws, and it had its own plug up there in the structure. So I just plugged it in and put some screws around it. But I left a note for the new owners, just in case they're running down the road. They know if that thing moves, they better, you know, support it a little bit better. Although I tried to mimic what I had before, it's never the same. So that's living in an RV, buying and selling, water. When it rains, look for your leaks coming in immediately. Then after it dries up, go outside and look. See what you can see. I never dreamt I'd find a bulge. It was a bulge about a foot across and 2 feet down. And it was from the ceiling down, from the top of the outside of the vehicle. And I just happened to be looking at that wall from a different angle where I could see that bulge. Otherwise, if you look at it straight on, you don't notice it. I happened to notice it as I was driving away, and it bothered me the whole time I was gone. So when I got home, boy, did I check that out. But there's nothing soft under it. Nothing, no evidence of leaking underneath on the bottom as well as the top. So it's something old that's got in there, and it's contained itself. I'm certainly not going to tear the outside wall off to get at it, because it's not really necessary at this point. Anyway, it's been good to present another video on health issues as well as RV living. I miss doing it and look forward to doing some more soon. Thank you very much. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and like. All down below. Click the links. Thanks. Bye-bye now.